Trustee Shaw.
I move that the rate of taxation for the calendar year 2021 be set at 2.330 on each $100 assessed valuation of property within the college district, and that the certification of same be forwarded to the county officials at the appropriate time. This rate reflects a reduction in the taxation rate. Again, it was 0.2330.
Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. This is gonna be a roll call vote.
Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Harrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes. Need a motion to adjourn the tax levy meeting.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, now we'll move into our regular monthly meeting of the Board of Trustees. If you'll stand with us, I think Trustee Garrison's gonna lead us in prayer.
Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for this great college. Be with us on this board, Lord, and make decisions that will be pleasing to your will, Lord. Just watch over and protect Dr. Hager and everybody else that's not here today and out traveling. In your name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Should have an agenda in front of you for today's meeting. If anybody has reviewed it or has a chance to, we'll entertain a motion to accept it.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second to approve today's agenda. All those in favor say aye. And we've got the minutes from last month's board meeting also. We can get a motion to approve those.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. That takes us to the financial report. Ms. Hubeck.
We'll turn to page 7 of your board books. So this is our last look before the audit. So these are still unaudited numbers, but at the June 30 results. So this report looks at June 30, 21 compared to June 30 of 20, and the financial results there. You can see that the first page is our revenue, the second is our expenses. We have up in some categories, down in others. We did get some extra state appropriations last year and some grants, more than we did in the previous year. But because of a lower enrollment and so forth, some of our operational categories are lower. Similarly, the expenses, you see that's reflected as well, reflecting that lower enrollment. And then you can see on page 9, the revenues minus expenses. We are just a little bit below our performance in the previous year. But again, that's related to lower enrollment and was a plan for fluctuation. You can see then on the next couple pages, those are just those same numbers from the graph. You can see that our preliminary bottom line there for FY21 is just over $2.1 million.
Hey, Charlotte.
Yes,
On page 10, there's a mathematical somewhere, obviously. The total assets are 83,213. The total liabilities are 83,713. There's a simple math there somewhere, I assume.
I'm sorry, say it again. I can't hear you.
On page 10, there's 83,2 and 83,7.
Oh, there it is.
There's
Those
not
pages.
there has to be mathematical error somewhere.
They're really close.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure that's just a typo. Being that close is probably a number transposed or something. So
Hey, good catch, Eric.
good catch.
Know your life.
Thanks for pointing that out.
That's right.
Man.
72.
That's why I'm here.
On page 12, then, still looking at June, but looking at budget versus actuals. So you can see that while we underperformed the previous year, we outperformed our budget. So like I said, that was a plan for neither is purely cash or accrual, but that's sort of the difference. So, your budget is gonna not include non-cash items like depreciation and those kind of things that your other report will include. Also, anything that's capitalized, that the items over $5,000, are included as assets on your financial report, whereas they're expenditures on your budget reports. So that's why those two give you different things. On page 14 then, this is the June, capital budget. You can see that as well, having, a number of projects that we have underway, and you'll see when we look at FY22, some of those are ongoing. Then on page 15, we have our first look at the new budget year. So this is July 31st, so that's just the first month of the new fiscal year. You can see we're off to a good start in enrollment, with tuition and fees up around 47%. Of course, we still have, this would be at the point in the year we still have registration going on through August. So there's still more of that yet to go. So we have a really good start to the year. And then on expenses, the bottom half of the page, you can see we've got startup costs for the new semester there, and pretty typical stuff. On page 16 and 17, then you see those detailed numbers that just are behind those graphs. 17 being more capital budget. So you've got, in particular, you've got the ball field and the Westover projects that are going to cross years. You can see on page 18 then we have some budget amendments. So when we did the original budget that was proposed in June, there were still some numbers we didn't have. So this just kind of brings those numbers up to actual based on new information that we have, particularly like for state aid. We got a little bit of extra state aid than what we had originally planned for. We also adjusted the enhancement grant to, because we budget usually based on the requested amount, and this is the actual awarded amount, because we just don't have that information soon enough to make the original budget. So that just accounts for those different things, and you can see that there's a item for the ball field in both the top part of the operating budget as well as the bottom half in the capital budget to account for the spillover of that ongoing project from one year to the next. So that's not increasing the cost of the project, it's just accounting for it in the new fiscal year. Following that then, we look at our cash position. Page 19 and 20 have the details, and then page 21 has the graph that summarizes that. Typically at this time of the year, we're in a relatively low cash position as we have startup costs of the new semester, but we won't have cash coming in terms of when we process financial aid, which doesn't usually happen until September. So this is a typically lower level of cash this time of the year. On page 22 and 23, you have your CDs. You can see that all the CDs that we personally hold are for endowment scholarships. We don't have any contingency CDs right now. That's because of the way the interest rates have behaved as of late. We're just not really getting good interest rates anywhere. Nobody is. So we do have all of that. All of the funds are just in our checking account, which is also interest bearing. But there's not really any advantage to tying it up in the CDs presently with the interest rates. So that's that change. And then on page 26, we have our bids. We have one bid out for electronic door locks that's funded through the CARES funds to do a hands-free electronic locks on exterior doors. And then we have counseling services still as an open bid. Counseling services for students. And that's all I have. Any other questions?
Sorry to catch you there. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to catch you there.
Do we have a motion to accept the financial report for June and July as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
A motion and a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. President's report, Dr. Payne.
Yes, thank you. I'll start off with compliments to everyone at the college. You just saw the end of year financial report expenses and be efficient. So we did this really well this year. Everyone deserves a lot of credit. They've done a great job. So moving into the board report, I want to give a little construction update on baseball and softball. We are getting very close to the end. What you see there is the final result on the baseball field, which is laser graded and ready to go. The fence is up. We still need to hang the windscreens. The last piece of any kind of real construction that we have is laying the road base and the road and the parking lot in front of softball. They got it to grade, got it ready to put the base and the paving on, and then it started raining. So we are hoping this week that the road bed is going to dry up enough where they can apply the base and get that done so we can finish laying the sod and tie a bow on this stuff. So project has turned out well. Had a great partnership with our contractors. Really has done a fine job. It's going to be a great renovation for the entire campus. Now I would like to bring up our athletic director, Coach Brian Bass. We have a lot of academic All-Americans in our student athletes, and we're going to highlight that for you.
So this year we had 17 academic All-Americans. To be a first team academic All-American, you had to have a 4.0. To be a second team academic All-American, you had to be between 3.8 and 3.99. And a third team academic All-American was 3.6 to 3.79. So they have 17 student athletes. Now not all of them are returning, but actually the baseball team had 8, and 5 of those are back, but every one of them said they were in class. And even Coach couldn't make it today either as well. But Coach Noel, do you want to recognize yours? And then Coach Weeks, would you like to recognize yours if you could, guys?
I'll recognize Kinley McAuliffe and Michaela Bryant, both returners this year. We had 7 academic All-Americans. These two, they're just outstanding. I know Kinley finished last year with a 4.0 for the whole year. So, outstanding job there. Hopefully we can continue. But thank you for recognizing.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and then one of our 2 is, don't be shy. This is a 9 at Melton. I am not sure what team you were. Do you remember? Honorable mention, third team academic All-American. So she is from Aurora, Illinois, and what are you majoring in? Health Sciences. So she's off to a great start this year as well. And our other one graduated in a year from here and is at College of the Ozarks. So she just moved in and started school yesterday. So that's Cameron Martin. So.
He wants to speak.
And then actually, we have a present for Dr. Payne right quick. We figured this was a great time to give it. Last year, we made it to the national tournament and accomplished a lot of firsts in program history. First undefeated season, first trip to the Final Four. And so we fundraised a lot of money and used our fundraising money to buy rings. And so have Dr. Hager's here as well, but he will not get here today. But Gracie Price from Ellington would like to present Dr. Payne with his Final Four ring. Be careful if they fall out.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Looks like for,
Yeah, it's perfect.
with 10 girls back, we got high expectations.
No pressure.
No pressure, we're just all depending on you.
Yeah, no pressure.
So, Three Rivers College has 3 main goals for all of our athletic teams. The first is we want you to win in your sport of competition. Second, we want to perform in the classroom. And third, we want you to be role models and positive representatives for us in the community and in life. And here's further proof that our athletic department is performing on all three of those aspects.
So, not to put them on the spot, but what are y'all's plans for later when you, for that career, what's your,
Go ahead.
just,
Okay. Right now I'm majoring in business administration. I finished that this semester actually. So I might go into elementary education or maybe dental hygiene school or marketing. I really don't know. I'm just
Got a shotgun in it. Well, that was my major, so.
Suspended?
Right now I'm doing health sciences, but I hope to study more like nutrition-based classes when I get there, so that's the goal.
Good.
I'm also doing health sciences. I want to be a pediatric occupational therapist and like work in a hospital.
I can't even spell that.
Congratulations.
I'm majoring in psychology right now, and I'm thinking about being a counselor, so.
right now I'm majoring in general education, but I want to go to pharmacy school after this. So.
Good job, ladies.
All right.
Very good, thank you. Now I'm going to ask that Dr. Mary Beth Payne come forward and give us a report on our most recent Higher Learning Commission visit.
Good afternoon. On June 24th, the college underwent a multi-location review conducted by the Higher Learning Commission. This visit is part of a series of scheduled events as we are an open pathways institution. And so since our successful reaffirmation in 2018, the college must demonstrate that we are in continuous compliance with the Higher Learning Commission. And so the visit we had on June 24th was specific to the Dexter and Kinnett locations. And the focus of the visit was on areas of instructional oversight, academic services, student services, college facilities, marketing and recruitment practices, and the assessment of student performance. And all of this they were looking at in terms of, are we meeting the criteria for accreditation in all of these areas. So the HLC evaluator met with 15 members of our full-time staff, including administrators, faculty, and staff. Additionally, the evaluator wanted to meet with faculty and students from the Dexter and Kinnett locations. So during this time, on June 24th, we didn't have any face-to-face classes, and we still had a very impressive show. We had 10 students and 8 adjunct faculty members meet with the evaluator on that day. I thought that was really impressive, especially people, with their busy schedules. They took time out, and they waited in some cases for an hour for the evaluator to get through her questioning with other groups she was meeting with. The one thing about this visit that was really surprising to a number of us were the questions the evaluator asked regarding how the college responded in the height of the COVID crisis. Specifically, how we had to shift operations to ensure that we were taking care of our students. And so that was really addressed very, very well. All of the questions she asked the same questions of every group. So she did have the opportunity to compare and contrast the answers from everyone. And of course, none of this was staged, none of this was prepared in terms, we didn't know what the specific questions were going to be. We did meet with these groups and tell them, this is an evaluation, what the evaluation was about, but in no way did we prep anyone for this. Like I said, the impressive thing is everyone did show up, everyone did respond, and the review went very, very well. It was highly successful. There were no concerns. In closing, the evaluator did mention a few comments in her report that I thought I would share with you. One of the things she said was very complimentary was the welcoming atmosphere at the external locations, particularly with the staff there. She was quite impressed with the staff. She also said in her report that she commended our external location directors and staff and their commitment to our students and to our faculty. So all in all, this went really well. At the end of the visit, which it began at 7 p.m. on the 24th, started here in Papa Bluff and then went to the locations, and she concluded around between 4 and 4:30 at the Kinnett location, and then she was through for the day and went on her way. So in the parking lot, she said to me, "Wow, you really prepped everyone well for this." She said, "I'm really impressed." And we will be gathering those facts, gathering those evidentiary documents, and meeting with groups this year, so that we will have another successful, reaffirmation of our recognition. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
So, and again, my compliments to everyone involved. Dr. Payne coordinated that entire event. People from academic, student services, financial services. It was really a cross representation of the entire college. Adjunct students, faculty, everybody stepped up and just told our story. And the facts spoke for themselves. And we were able to move through it with absolutely no issue whatsoever. So, thank you, Dr. Payne. As part of our lead up to the first day of classes, on August 6th, we held our annual adjunct training day where we bring adjuncts in. We actually held 3 or 4 different sessions so that our adjuncts could attend at their schedule, and we did offer one Zoom conference as well. This serves the purpose of bringing our adjuncts into the normalization of how we do things every year and make sure that we are meeting their needs and supporting them and making them part of the family. We depend on our adjunct faculty to a great deal to serve our students. And while these are very experienced, either industry practitioners or retired school teachers who are extremely competent in the classroom, making sure that their needs are met, making sure that we're supporting them goes a long way in helping them and making it easier for them to support our students in the way we want them to. So it's a very important day as we move forward. Then we held convocation on August 9th. We recognized years of service, talked about our strategic plan, many of the initiatives and the work that is going on around the college to bring everybody up to speed and really to celebrate the start of a new year and to talk about how the work we're doing is going according to plan, where we were, where we are at that moment, and where we're headed. So it's a great day where we all come together. It's high energy. We went to we did a lot of work to make sure that we could do this year with the masking requirement and the current COVID conditions, to make sure that we were doing it safe, but that we could come together. Because last year we were not able to come together in person because of the response to the pandemic, and that really altered the feel of the start of the year and highlighted how important this day is to us all coming back, being together, and starting the year on a positive note. And then we had an ice cream truck that day from courtesy of the Endowment Trust. So the best I can say about that is a good time was had by all. So had Bounce House out on the quad. It was quite a bit of fun. Well, it was a bounce slide. So there may be some pictures running around, but I'll deny it. When you're under stress and people are a little bit worried, having a little bit of fun makes a lot of difference. And then, of course, August 16th, first day of class, ice cream truck came back again for our students that day, just making it a very positive start to how everything is going to begin, and well begun is half done. So our first day of class, our first week of class really went well. And if you consider that the evening of convocation at 4:30, the transformer on this building literally exploded. This is the building where we do registration. So by 5 o'clock, we had a team together talking about how are you going to fix the transformer. We also had a team together talking about, okay, obviously we're not doing registration the way we normally do it. let's get a plan together, let's execute it before 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And we moved all of registration for that day to the library. And here's the best part about that. From the student standpoint, they didn't have the first clue that's not how we do registration. So on their side, they just had a positive registration experience. They didn't know that we were in the middle of chaos. Thanks to Summit Electrical, one of our electrical contractors, and city utilities and Bill Bach, we were back up and running fully on Wednesday morning. So it was an amazing performance by everyone. And it really is something that everyone should be proud of, to hit that kind of snag on that kind of notice and to be able to push through it without our students realizing that something not good was going on. Says a lot, and really it may say everything about how we operate and the folks that we have involved at the college. You don't get this kind of performance by accident or in general, but you get it here day after day after day with people who care about our students, care about the college, and take that extra step to make sure it goes well. Then following that on the 19th, we kicked off the patron season, so we have a very significant season this year. We have a number of sponsors involved this year. We have a record number of sponsors. One of our new sponsors this year, sponsoring one of our major shows, is Billy Pollard Architecture. They have stepped up with a significant sponsorship. Along with them, Sides Construction is sponsoring the show, as well as Boyd Engineering, who is our mechanical and electrical engineer on an upcoming HVAC COVID project. In addition to them, Kissinger and Kirkland Investment Center and First Midwest Bank, as well as the Dental Arts Group, are sponsoring shows this year. So we have a record number of sponsors. Great event, had live entertainment provided by some very talented local performers. It's going to be a great season, so be watching for those shows to pop up on Facebook as they come. So I want to hit a couple of upcoming events so everybody's aware of what's going to happen. We have an athletic work day. We're going to focus on campus beautification on this campus this year, so the athletic department is organized and ready to go. And we're going to make a difference where everybody can see the difference we're making. Not this year.
I'm not sure for that.
This year we're going to focus on the Poplar Bluff campus, around housing, around Livela, some remediation on some of our flower beds, some new flower beds are going to be established. So it's going to be a great day for all of our student athletes to come together, get to know each other, and this is part of the Cutlass Character Development Program for our student athletes. But one of the big benefits of this particular event is this is really the first time for many of the student athletes from different teams to interact with each other. So it begins to build relationships and friendships and knowledge about, oh, there's other sports here besides my sport. And what we generally see is increased interaction and then sports co-supporting each other. So all of a sudden the baseball players are coming to basketball games and the basketball players are coming to baseball and softball games. It just raises the level of the entire thing. We also this Sunday have a reception from 2 to 4 for Paul Jackson. He's doing a art exhibit in town, and he is bringing part of it to the Tennyson Gallery. That exhibit will go from August 30th to October 29th. Then we have a series of partnership events for mental health awareness. Our behavioral health faculty member is partnering with some state agencies and FCC to host these events. our faculty and students are highly involved. The first one is International Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st. That'll be held in the Plaster Lecture Hall. Then Labor Day will be September 6th. Then September 10th is Let Us Share Our Stories, which is a general mental health awareness seminar. We have 3 guest speakers coming in that are published authors, experienced counselors, and people who have successfully worked through some trying times to share their stories and talk about how to remain or become mentally healthy. Then September 11th, we have the Run for the Arts. This is a 4-mile run walk along with a 1-mile walk or virtual participation. And all of the proceeds benefit a scholarship fund for the fine arts. So this is the 5th year we'll be doing this. It's been a very successful event every year and is building the endowment to support our fine arts scholarships at the college. And then our third mental health awareness is Out of the Darkness Walk, which is a walk to fight suicide, September 11th on the TRC walking trail. And this is partnership with the state agency. They had to come down, certify that the walk trail would be appropriate, and we are off and walking. Then September 13th, Meet the Raiders. So it's a night where everybody can come out, get a little bit of refreshment, and have the first chance to meet our incoming and returning student athletes. And Dexter Trivia Night is on September 14th. So that's also a successful event that is being repeated for another year. Cost is $120 per team, up to 6 players, dinner's included. If you want to sponsor anything or be a team, September 7th is the deadline for that. This year held at the Sacred Heart Catholic Church at Dexter. So this also, proceeds from this event support scholarships for the Dexter location as well. Then Club Rush will be September 15th. This is the time when all of our student clubs and organizations come out, set a booth up on the quad, and build awareness and increase participation in all of their activities. So fun day right there in the quad. It's hosted by Student Life and Student Government together. Then the first patron show will be September 16th, Jeff and Sherry Easter, Southern Gospel Group. And then due date for alumni awards, both the Alumni Star and the Distinguished Alumni. We are accepting nominations, need them by September 24th. And that, Mr. Chairman, is the President's report. Are there any questions?
All right. We do have some items for executive session, so if anybody would make a motion, we'll adjourn into executive session this time.
Motion to enter executive session.
Second.
And a motion and a second is a roll call motion.
Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Harrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yep.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Peppers?
Yes. Executive session.
Okay.
Thank you. Items for consideration, discussion, and vote. Item number 6 on your agenda. Construction contract for fiscal year 22.
Yes, we went through a request for qualifications process to identify a construction partner to execute some COVID-19 remediation projects as well as some campus improvement projects in the current fiscal year. Sides Construction was the sole bidder. It is our recommendation that they be awarded the contract.
All right, very good.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Harrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Peppers?
Yes. All right, consideration and approval of all personal actions and associated documents. Start of the new year, we'll get a ton of them. Anybody want to make a motion, we accept them as presented?
Make a motion to accept them all and all the related documents with
Thank you, sir. Is there a second? No?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Trustee
I won't
Richardson?
get that tough.
You didn't even try.
Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Garrison?
Yes.
Trustee Shock?
Yep.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Featherston?
Yes. Next meeting is September 15th. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Thank you, everybody.